I said I'd spend Christmas alone. The ice-cold class president knocked on my door with gifts and a suitcase. And somehow, that was the moment I realized my quiet Christmas was over. My name is Ryan Mitchell. At Northbridge Academy, I was never the person everyone noticed. I wasn't the captain of the basketball team. I wasn't the student council star. I wasn't the guy whose name appeared on school posters. I was just Ryan, the guy who fixed broken speakers for school events, the guy who stayed after class to help teachers, the guy who usually sat near the window during lunch because it was quieter there. But everyone knew one person at Northbridge Academy: Sophia Everhart, the class president, the girl teachers trusted, the student everyone admired, the girl who could walk into a room and make everyone become silent. People called her the Ice Queen, not because she was mean, because nobody could get close to her. Sophia was perfect. Perfect grades, perfect speeches, perfect appearance. She always knew what to say. She always looked calm, even when everyone else was nervous. But there was one strange thing about Sophia Everhart. She was different around me. I first noticed it during the winter charity event. The microphone stopped working 5 minutes before her speech. Everyone panicked. Sophia stood backstage, looking at the broken equipment. I walked over. "Give me a minute." She looked surprised. "You can fix it?" "Probably. And if you can't?" I smiled. "Then I'll apologize to everyone for ruining your speech." For the first time, I saw her smile. Not the polite smile she gave teachers. A real one. "You're strange, Ryan." "Why?" "Most people panic around me." I looked at the microphone. "Why would I panic? The microphone is the problem." She laughed. And I remembered that moment, because it was the first time I realized the Ice Queen could actually laugh. After that day, Sophia started appearing around me more often. She sat beside me during study periods. She asked for my opinion on school projects. She remembered small things about me: my favorite coffee, the songs I liked, the fact that I hated crowded places. But I always thought she was just being kind, because girls like Sophia didn't choose guys like me. Christmas break arrived quickly. Everyone had plans. Friends traveled. Couples went on holiday dates. Families gathered together. My classmates filled social media with pictures of Christmas dinners and decorations. And me? I sat alone in my apartment. A small tree stood beside the window. A frozen pizza was heating in the oven. That was my Christmas plan. Simple. Quiet. Alone. Honestly, I didn't mind. At least, that was what I told myself. On Christmas Eve, I sent a message in our class group chat. "Me, guess I'm spending Christmas alone this year." I expected jokes. Maybe someone saying I needed better plans. Instead, a few people replied, "Seriously? You don't have family coming? Ryan, that's actually sad." I laughed. It wasn't sad. Was it? Before I could reply, a new message appeared. From Sophia. "Sophia, why?" Just 2 words. But everyone in the group noticed. Because Sophia Everhart rarely texted anyone, especially not casually. I typed, "Me, my parents are working out of town. Friends have plans. It's fine." A few seconds passed. Then, "Sophia, fine?" I stared at the screen. I didn't know why, but that one word felt different. Before I could answer, she went offline. I forgot about it. Or at least, I tried to. Christmas night arrived. Snow covered the streets. The neighborhood was quiet. I was sitting on the couch watching an old movie when someone knocked on my door. I frowned. Nobody was supposed to come. I walked over and opened it. And froze. Sophia Everhart was standing outside. For a moment, I thought I was dreaming. Because this was impossible. The girl who always looked perfectly prepared was standing at my door wearing a white winter coat. Her hair was slightly messy from the snow. And beside her was a suitcase. In one hand, she held a bag filled with gifts. I stared. "Sophia?" She looked at me. "Hi, Ryan." I looked at the suitcase. Then the gifts. Then back at her. "What are you doing here?" She seemed confused. "Spending Christmas." "With me?" "Yes." I blinked. "Why?" She looked away for a second. Like she was embarrassed. "Because you said you'd be alone. That doesn't explain why you came." Sophia tightened her grip on the gift bag. Then quietly said, "Because I didn't want you to be." I didn't know what to say. The class president, the Ice Queen, the girl who had hundreds of people wanting her attention had come to my apartment. On Christmas. With gifts. And a suitcase. "Sophia." "Yes?" Why do you have a suitcase? For the first time, she looked nervous. A few days. I stared. A few days? She nodded. I already told my parents I was staying with a friend. I looked around. My apartment has one bedroom. I know. You brought a suitcase. Yes. You're staying here? She looked at me and said the most unbelievable sentence I had ever heard from her. Ryan, I didn't come here as the class president. A pause. I came here because I wanted to spend Christmas with you. Outside, snow continued falling. Inside, my quiet Christmas suddenly became something completely different. Because the girl everyone thought was impossible to approach had just walked into my life. And she wasn't planning to leave. I spent the first 5 minutes after Sophia walked into my apartment wondering if I was still asleep. Because nothing about this made sense. Sophia Everhart didn't do unexpected things. She was the kind of person who planned everything. Her schedule was organized down to the minute. Her homework was always finished early. Her speeches were practiced perfectly. Yet now, the girl everyone called the Ice Queen was standing in my living room holding a suitcase and a bag of Christmas gifts. Like this was the most normal thing in the world. You're still standing there. Sophia's voice pulled me back. I looked at her. Sorry. For what? I'm just confused. She nodded. That's reasonable. You admit this is confusing? Yes. That surprised me. You came to my apartment on Christmas night with a suitcase. Most people would call that unusual. Sophia looked around my apartment. Most people don't know you. I froze slightly. What does that mean? She looked at me. It means they wouldn't understand why I came. I didn't know how to answer. Because Sophia had always been difficult to understand. At school, everyone saw the same version of her. The perfect class president. The girl who always knew the right answer. The person who never looked nervous. But standing in my apartment, wearing a coat covered in snow, she looked different. Not cold. Just determined. Where should I put this? She lifted her suitcase. I immediately pointed toward the corner. Wait. She stopped. What? You're actually staying? Sophia looked confused. I told you. For how long? A few days. I stared. Sophia. Yes? You realize we're classmates, right? Yes. And this is my apartment. Yes. And you're the class president. Yes. And you're staying here during Christmas break? She nodded. Yes. I rubbed my forehead. You're making this sound way too simple. She smiled slightly. You're making it sound complicated. Because it is. Why? I opened my mouth. Then stopped. Because I didn't actually have a good answer. Sophia walked toward the kitchen. Do you have food? I blinked. What? You said you were eating pizza. I was. That's not Christmas dinner. It's still food. She looked at me seriously. No, I laughed. You're judging my pizza? Yes. You're the class president, not a food critic. Tonight I'm both. For the next 30 minutes, I watched something I never thought I would see. Sophia Everhart cooking. The same girl who could lead a school meeting with hundreds of students was standing in my tiny kitchen trying to figure out where I kept the plates. You don't organize your cabinets. I smiled. You sound offended. I am. Why? Because I spent 10 minutes looking for a bowl. That sounds like a personal problem. She looked at me. Are you making fun of me? Maybe. A small smile appeared. Good. Good? Yes. Why? Because you never joke with me at school. I paused. She was right. At school, I was always careful. Everyone treated Sophia differently. I didn't want to be another person trying to get something from her. While we prepared dinner, the apartment became strangely comfortable. Not like two classmates spending Christmas together. More like two friends who had known each other for years. Sophia asked about my childhood. I asked about hers. And for the first time, I learned something. The Ice Queen hated Christmas. Not because she disliked the holiday. Because every year, her parents were too busy. Her family had money. A beautiful house. Everything people wanted. But Christmas dinners were often canceled because of work. You're telling me the school beauty spends Christmas alone too? I joked. Sophia looked down. Not alone. Then? Busy. I understood. Sometimes being surrounded by people didn't mean you weren't lonely. After dinner, we sat near the window. Snow covered the street. The whole city looked quiet. Sophia. Why did you really come? She looked at me. I told you. Because I said I was alone? Yes. But why did that matter? She became quiet. For a moment, I thought she wouldn't answer. Then she said, because I know what it feels like. I looked at her. What? To smile in front of everyone she looked outside. And still wish someone would notice you. That sentence stayed with me. Because it was the first time Sophia admitted she wasn't as perfect as everyone thought. You know, I said softly. What? You're not very good at being cold. She looked surprised. What? Everyone calls you the Ice Queen. And I think they're wrong. She looked at me. Why? Because ice doesn't stay up until midnight in a library. A small smile appeared. Ice doesn't bring someone Christmas gifts. I looked at the suitcase beside her. And ice definitely doesn't bring luggage. She laughed. Actually laughed. And I realized something. I had only seen Sophia smile before. But tonight I saw her happy. Later, I prepared the couch for her. You can sleep here. Sophia looked at the couch. Then at me. You're giving me your bed? Yes. No, I frowned. What? You're sleeping here. Sophia. I brought a suitcase. That doesn't mean anything. It means I came prepared. I laughed. You really planned everything? Yes. You planned sleeping on my couch? No then? She looked away. I plan to stay. That answer caught me off guard. Stay? Yes. Why? She was quiet for a moment. Then, because I don't want this to be a one-night thing. My heartbeat changed. Sophia, she looked at me. Don't worry. Her expression became serious. I'm not asking for anything. Then what are you asking for? She smiled softly. Just let me be here. That night, after Sophia fell asleep on the couch, I sat quietly in my room. I kept thinking about everything. The gifts. The suitcase. The way she looked relieved when I opened the door. The fact that the girl everyone wanted to know chose to spend Christmas with me. Then my phone lit up. A message from Sophia. I looked toward the living room. She was asleep. So why did she text me? I opened it. Sophia, thank you for letting me come. I smiled. Then another message appeared. Sophia, I know I'm not very good at saying things. A pause. Sophia, but this is the first Christmas I've actually looked forward to. I stared at the screen. And suddenly, I realized something. Sophia Everhart didn't come here because she felt sorry for me. She came because for some reason she needed this Christmas as much as I did. I woke up earlier than usual. Not because of an alarm. Because I heard someone moving in the kitchen. For a moment, I forgot what day it was. Then I remembered. Christmas. And the person making noise in my apartment was not a family member. It was Sophia Everhart, the Ice Queen. The girl who had somehow turned my lonely Christmas into something completely unexpected. I walked into the kitchen and stopped. Sophia was standing there wearing one of my old hoodies. I stared. She noticed immediately. What? I pointed at the hoodie. That's mine. She looked down. Oh, you're wearing my hoodie. Yes. Why? She thought for a moment. Because it was cold. I looked at the heater. The heater is on. She became quiet. Then said, I liked it. I didn't know how to respond. Because Sophia Everhart admitting she liked something so simple felt strangely special. Did you sleep well? She asked while preparing breakfast. I laughed. Are you seriously asking me that? Yes. You slept on my couch. I've slept in worse places. You have? Yes. When? Sophia paused. Then smiled slightly. During student council events. I shook my head. I can't believe the class president secretly lives like this. Like what? Like a normal person. She looked offended. I am normal. I smiled. Most people don't think so. Most people don't know me. That sentence sounded familiar. Because she had said something similar last night. After breakfast, Sophia handed me a gift. I looked at the box. You brought this yesterday? Yes. You planned this before coming? Yes. I smiled. You really prepared everything. I told you. You planned Christmas at my apartment? Yes. I opened the gift. Inside was a pair of headphones. Not expensive. Not flashy. But exactly the type I had been looking at online. I froze. Sophia. What? How did you know I wanted these? She looked confused. You mentioned them. When? 3 months ago. I stared. You remembered something I said 3 months ago? Yes. That's impossible. She tilted her head. Why? Because most people forget things after 5 minutes. She looked at me. I don't. That was when I realized something. Sophia remembered everything. Not because she had a perfect memory. Because she cared. I gave her my gift. She looked surprised. You bought something for me? Of course. But you said you didn't have Christmas plans. I didn't. Then when did you buy this? I smiled. Secret. She narrowed her eyes. You're learning from me. Maybe. She opened the box. Inside was a simple silver bookmark. Nothing expensive. Just a small bookmark with a tiny snowflake design. Sophia looked at it quietly. You remembered. I blinked. Remembered what? She touched the bookmark. Last month, I said I hated folding the corners of books. I smiled. You complained about it for 10 minutes. I did not. You did. She looked away. Maybe. For a moment, she just held the bookmark. Then she said, this is my favorite gift. I laughed. You haven't even seen the other gifts you got. I don't need to. Why? Because you thought about it. That answer was so simple. But it meant something. After lunch, we went outside. The snow had stopped. The streets were covered in white. Sophia walked beside me. No classmates. No teachers. No school. Just us. You know, everyone at school thinks you're scary. She looked at me. Do you? Know why? Because scary people don't bring gifts to someone who says they'll spend Christmas alone. She smiled. Maybe I'm only scary at school. Why? She looked ahead. Because that's easier. Easier? Yes. She was quiet. If people think you're perfect, they don't expect you to need anything. I looked at her. But everyone needs something. She nodded. I know. Then what do you need? Sophia stopped walking. For a second, I thought she wouldn't answer. Then she said, someone who doesn't see me as the class president. I waited. Someone who sees me as Sophia. I didn't know why that answer affected me so much. Maybe because I understood. Everyone saw what they expected to see. The school beauty. The perfect student. The ice queen. But nobody asked who she was when nobody was watching. Except me. That afternoon, we went back to my apartment. Sophia helped decorate the small Christmas tree. It was ridiculous. She was the most organized person I knew. Yet she spent 10 minutes deciding where to place one tiny ornament. Left. No, right. No, I laughed. You're overthinking a Christmas decoration. She looked serious. It matters. Why? Because we'll remember it. I froze. We. Not me. Not her. We. That evening, we watched movies on the couch. At some point, Sophia fell asleep. Again. Just like I had fallen asleep in the library. I looked at her quietly. The girl who never showed weakness at school was sleeping peacefully in my apartment, trusting me. And suddenly, I understood. Coming here was a bigger decision than I realized. Sophia Everhart didn't just bring gifts and a suitcase. She brought the part of herself she never showed anyone. My phone suddenly vibrated. A message from the school group chat. Everyone was talking about Christmas. Then someone sent, wait, where is Sophia? Another replied, she disappeared yesterday. Then, the class president missing Christmas events? Impossible. I looked at Sophia. She was still asleep. Then another message appeared. From Carter Reed. I know where she is. I frowned. A few seconds later, she's with Noah Parker. My expression changed. Because I knew what that meant. By tomorrow morning everyone at school would know. Sophia Everhart spent Christmas at my apartment. And for the first time I wasn't worried about what people would think. I was worried about what Sophia would lose. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of messages. At first, I thought something happened at school. Then I saw the group chat. And I immediately understood. Fairmont Academy Senior Group Student A, is it true? Student B, no way. Student C, the class president spent Christmas at Noah's apartment? I stared at the screen. My first thought wasn't about myself. It was Sophia. Because I knew what people would say. They wouldn't see the girl who stayed with someone who was lonely. They would see the class president breaking her perfect image. I looked toward the couch. Sophia was still asleep. For some reason, seeing her there made everything feel calm. She wasn't the girl everyone talked about. She was just Sophia. The girl who laughed at my bad jokes. The girl who remembered my favorite coffee. The girl who brought a suitcase because she didn't want me to spend Christmas alone. My phone buzzed again. This time, it was from Lucas. Lucas, bro, Lucas, please tell me this is fake. I smiled. Me, it's real. 3 seconds later, Lucas, you spent Christmas with Sophia Everhart? Me, yes. A long pause. Then, Lucas, I need you to understand that half the school is currently losing its mind. I looked at Sophia. I sighed. I figured. A few minutes later, Sophia woke up. She sat up slowly, then looked at me. Good morning. Morning. She noticed my expression. What happened? I hesitated, then showed her my phone. She read the messages. And surprisingly, she didn't look scared. She didn't look angry. She just looked tired. Carter. I frowned. You knew? She nodded. He probably told everyone. Why? Sophia was quiet, then said, because he thinks he's protecting me. That answer surprised me. Protecting you? Yes. By telling the entire school? Sophia sighed. Carter has always thought he understands what's best for me. I remembered him. The football captain. The guy everyone expected Sophia to choose. Does he? No, her answer was immediate. I looked at her. Were you two ever? No, she answered before I finished. People assume we were. Because you're both popular? Yes. Then why didn't you correct them? Sophia looked down. Because I didn't care. That sounded exactly like her. She never cared about rumors. Until now. But this is different, she said. I looked at her. Why? Because this involves you. The way she said it made me quiet. Me? Yes. She looked at me seriously. I don't care if people misunderstand me. A pause. But I don't want them to hurt you because of me. I smiled slightly. You're worried about me? Yes. Even though everyone is talking about you? Yes. Even though you're the one who might lose your reputation? Sophia looked confused. My reputation doesn't matter. I stared. What? She smiled softly. Ryan. Yes? Do you know why I came here? I nodded. Because I didn't want me to be alone. She shook her head. No, she looked at me. Because I didn't want you to be alone. That sentence hit me harder than I expected. Because Sophia always said things so simply. No dramatic confession. No big speech. Just the truth. After breakfast, we went back to school. The moment we entered the hallway, I felt it. Everyone was looking. Whispers followed us. Some people smiled. Some looked surprised. Some looked jealous. But Sophia kept walking. And then she did something I never expected. She reached for my hand. I stopped. Sophia. She looked at me. What? Everyone is watching. I know. Then why? She held my hand tighter. Because I don't want you thinking I'm embarrassed. For a moment, the entire hallway disappeared. Because the girl who spent years protecting her image was willing to risk it for me. At lunch, the rumors became louder. Carter found us. Again. This time, he looked serious. Sophia. She looked up. Yes? Can we talk? No, he froze. I just want to explain. I understand what you want. Then listen. Sophia shook her head. No, everyone nearby became quiet. Because nobody said no to Carter. Except Sophia. He looked frustrated. You're making a mistake. Sophia's expression didn't change. You said that yesterday. Because it's true. No, she looked at him. You think it's a mistake because you don't understand. Understand what? Why I chose him. Carter looked at me. Then back at her. He's not like us. Sophia smiled slightly. That's exactly why. The cafeteria went silent. He doesn't care about my family. He doesn't care about my popularity. He doesn't care about what I can give him. She looked at me. He cares about me. Carter didn't answer. Because there was nothing to say. After school, Sophia and I walked to the library. The same library where everything started. You didn't have to defend me. She looked at me. Yes, I did. Why? Because you always defend everyone else. She sat down by the window. Someone should do the same for you. I smiled. You really don't let me underestimate myself, do you? No, why? She looked at me. Because I spent too long watching you not realize how special you are. That evening, we were leaving school when Sophia's phone rang. She answered. Her expression slowly changed. What happened? She ended the call. Then looked at me. My parents are coming. I frowned. Here? She nodded. Tomorrow. Why? Sophia was silent. Then, because they heard about Christmas. I felt nervous. Are they angry? She looked at me. I don't know. That was the first time I saw Sophia truly uncertain. Then she added, but there's something else. What? She took a breath. They want to know if you're serious about me. I froze. Because suddenly, this wasn't just a school rumor anymore. Tomorrow I would meet the family of the girl who changed my Christmas. I thought I was prepared to meet Sophia's parents. I was wrong. No amount of preparation could make me feel ready to stand in front of the people who raised the girl everyone at Fairmont Academy admired. Especially when I knew one thing. They probably had the same question everyone else had. Why me? The next afternoon, Sophia and I waited outside the main entrance of the school. Her parents were coming to pick us up. I kept checking the time. Sophia noticed. You're nervous. I looked at her. Is it obvious? Yes. How? She smiled slightly. You fixed your jacket 6 times. I immediately stopped touching it. I did not. You did. I sighed. You really pay attention to everything. Sophia nodded. When it comes to you. That answer made me forget what I was about to say. Because Sophia never tried to make things sound bigger than they were. She simply told the truth. A black car stopped in front of the school. Sophia immediately stood straighter. The door opened. A man and a woman stepped out. Her father looked serious. Not angry. Just serious. Her mother looked warmer. But both of them had the same expression. They were studying me. Not judging. Studying. Sophia stepped forward. Mom. Dad. Her mother smiled. Sophia. Then she looked at me. And you must be Ryan. I nodded. Yes, ma'am. Her father shook my hand. Ryan Parker. Yes, sir. For some reason, that handshake felt more intense than any exam I had taken. The drive to their house was quiet. Sophia sat beside me. I noticed something. She looked calm, but her fingers were slightly tense. I leaned closer. Are you nervous? She looked at me. No, I raised an eyebrow. She sighed. Maybe. I smiled. The Ice Queen is nervous? She quietly laughed. Only around my parents. Why? She looked out the window. Because their opinions matter. That surprised me. Even to you? Yes. A pause. Everyone thinks I don't care what people think. She looked at me. But I care about the people I love. When we arrived at the Everhart house, I understood something. Sophia came from a completely different world. The house was beautiful. Not in a way that showed off wealth. More like a place where everything had meaning. Books filled the shelves. Family photos decorated the walls. Awards and memories were displayed everywhere. Then I noticed something. A picture of Sophia when she was younger. She was smiling. Really smiling. Not the calm smile everyone saw at school. A child's smile. You're looking at that photo. Sophia's voice surprised me. I turned. You were different. She walked beside me. How? You smiled more. She looked at the picture. Then quietly said, I used to. What changed? She was silent. Then, I learned people expected things from me. I looked at her. Your grades? My reputation. My future. She smiled slightly. Everyone had a version of Sophia Everhart they wanted. And you? I forgot which version was mine. Before I could answer, her mother called us for dinner. The first half of the meal was normal. Her parents asked about school, my hobbies, my plans. Then her father asked the question I expected. Ryan. I looked up. Yes? What do you want from Sophia? The table became quiet. Sophia immediately looked at him. Dad. But I answered. Nothing. Her father studied me. Nothing? I nodded. I mean, I looked at Sophia. I don't want anything from her. A pause. I just like being around her. Her father didn't respond immediately. Then he asked, You know who my daughter is? Yes. Do you know how many people want to be close to her? Yes. Then why don't you want something? I thought about it, then said, Because that would change the reason I'm here. Everyone became quiet. I don't want to be with Sophia because she's the class president, or because she's popular, or because people think she's special. I looked at her. I like her because she remembers small things. Because she stays when nobody asks her to. Because she makes people feel important. Sophia looked down. I could see she was trying not to smile. Her father noticed. And for the first time, his expression softened. After dinner, Sophia and I walked outside. The snow had started falling again. You did well. I laughed. That sounds like a teacher. She smiled. My father liked you. Really? Yes. How do you know? Because he didn't ask more questions. That's his approval? For my father, yes. We walked quietly for a while. Then Sophia stopped. Ryan. Yeah? I'm sorry. For what? For bringing you into this. I frowned. Into what? My world. I looked at her. Sophia. Yes? I don't think your world is the problem. Then what is? You thinking I don't belong in it. She became silent. Because I was right. You know something? What? Since Christmas, everyone keeps asking why you chose me. She looked at me. But nobody asks why I chose you. A pause. And I think that's because they assume you're lucky. I smiled. Am I not? She shook her head. No, then what am I? Sophia stepped closer. The person who made me feel like I didn't have to be perfect. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then her phone rang. She looked at the screen. Her expression changed. What happened? She showed me the message. It was from the school. Winter Charity Gala announcement. Class President Sophia Everhart has been nominated as Queen of the Winter Gala. I smiled. That's good, right? Sophia didn't smile. Ryan. What? She looked worried. There's another message. She showed me. Nominees must attend the gala with an official partner chosen by the committee. I frowned. Partner? She nodded. Then the next message appeared. The committee has already selected Sophia's partner. I looked at the name, and my expression changed. Because it wasn't me. It was Carter Reed. Sophia looked at me. I didn't know. But suddenly the same person who had questioned our relationship was being placed beside her in front of the entire school. And everyone would be watching. For the first time since I met Sophia Everhart, I saw something I had never seen before. She looked worried. Not about an exam. Not about a competition. Not about her reputation. About me. She stared at the message from the Winter Gala committee for a long time. Then she locked her phone. I'll fix it. I frowned. What does that mean? It means you don't need to worry. Sophia. She looked at me. I'm serious. No, that surprised her. No? I shook my head. You always say that. Say what? That everything is fine. She became quiet. Because she knew I was right. The next morning at school, the Winter Gala announcement had already spread everywhere. The Winter Gala was one of the biggest events at Fairmont Academy. Every year, students dressed up, teachers attended, and the entire school celebrated the end of the semester. The most anticipated moment was always the same. The announcement of the Winter Queen. And everyone knew Sophia was the favorite. Of course she was. She was the class president, the top student, the girl everyone admired. But this year, everyone was talking about something else. Her partner, Carter Reed. When I entered the hallway, I heard whispers immediately. Did you see? Sophia and Carter are going together. They actually look perfect. I knew they would end up together. I stopped walking. Not because I believed them. Because I wondered if Sophia did. I found her outside the classroom. She was talking to the event coordinator. The moment she saw me, she ended the conversation. Ryan. Hey. She smiled. But I noticed. It wasn't her usual smile. Something was bothering her. What happened? Nothing. I raised an eyebrow. She sighed. You're getting too good at that. At what? Knowing when I'm lying. I smiled. I learned from you. She looked around. Then lowered her voice. The committee made a mistake. The partner thing? Yes. So you're going to change it? I'm trying. Trying? Sophia looked away. There are rules. I frowned. What rules? The committee chooses partners based on public image. I immediately understood. They think Carter fits you better. She didn't answer. That was enough. I tried to smile. It's okay. Sophia looked at me. No what? It's not okay. Her answer was immediate. You always say that when something hurts you. I froze. Because she was right. Again. Sophia. Yes? You don't have to fight everything. She looked at me. I do when it matters. And this matters? She stepped closer. Yes. Why? She looked at me. Because I don't want to stand beside someone just because everyone thinks we look good together. A pause. I want to stand beside someone I actually choose. My heart moved faster. But before I could answer, Carter walked over. Of course. He always appeared at the worst moments. Hey, Sophia. She turned. Carter. He looked between us. Then at me. I heard you wanted to change the gala partner. Sophia's expression became cold. Yes. Why? Because it's not my choice. Carter smiled slightly. I thought you cared about the school. I do. Then why make things difficult? I frowned. What does that mean? Carter looked at me. It means some events are bigger than personal feelings. Sophia immediately stepped forward. Stop. Carter looked surprised. What? Don't talk about him like that. The hallway became quiet. Because everyone knew Carter. People listened to him. But Sophia didn't. I'm not saying anything wrong. Yes, you are. Her voice was calm. You keep acting like Ryan is the problem. Carter frowned. Isn't he? No, then what is he? Sophia looked at me. Then back at Carter. He's the person I want beside me. I felt everyone looking. Students, teachers, everyone nearby. Sophia didn't care. She had said it clearly. No hesitation. Carter's expression changed. You're serious? Yes. You would choose him over the gala? Sophia smiled slightly. No, Carter looked confused. Then what? She answered, I would choose him over pretending. That sentence stayed with me. Because Sophia had spent years being exactly what everyone expected. Perfect. Reliable. Impossible to criticize. But now she was choosing something that wasn't convenient. She was choosing me. That afternoon, the committee called us to discuss the gala. The coordinator looked uncomfortable. Sophia, you understand why Carter was selected. I do. He represents the school. I know. He is popular. I know. The coordinator looked at me. And Ryan is. She stopped. She didn't finish. But everyone understood. Sophia looked at her. Say it. The room became silent. The coordinator hesitated. Les recognized. Sophia nodded. Exactly. Then she smiled. And that's the problem. Everyone looked at her. Because you think someone's value depends on how many people know their name. She looked at me. But I know Ryan. A pause. And that matters more. The coordinator didn't know what to say. Finally, she sighed. If you change partners, there may be consequences. Sophia nodded. I understand. You could lose the chance to become Winter Queen. I understand. She looked at me. And I'm still choosing. That evening, we walked home together. You know you might lose. Sophia looked at me. The Winter Queen title? Yes. She smiled. I never wanted it. I laughed. You're saying that now? Yes. Then why did you participate? Because everyone expected me to. She looked ahead. I'm tired of doing things only because people expect them. We stopped near my house. Sophia looked at me. Ryan. Yeah? Are you scared? I thought about it. A little. Of what? That one day you'll realize everyone else was right. She became quiet. Then she reached out and fixed my jacket collar. A small gesture. But somehow, it meant everything. Noah. She rarely called me anything except my name. But this time, she said it softly. Listen to me. I didn't choose you because nobody else wanted you. I chose you because nobody else saw what I saw. Before I could answer, her phone rang. She looked at the screen. Her expression changed. What happened? She showed me. It was a message from the school administration. Winter Gala partner decision approved. I smiled. Really? Then I saw the next line. Due to committee concerns, Sophia Everhart's partner must be publicly confirmed during tomorrow's assembly. I frowned. Tomorrow? Sophia nodded. Then another message appeared. All nominees and partners must attend. I looked at her. Who is your partner now? Sophia stared at the screen. Then smiled. A confident smile. The person I chose. The next day the entire school would watch. And for the first time Sophia Everhart wasn't going to let anyone decide who stood beside her. I had performed on stage before. I had played guitar in front of hundreds of people. I had spoken during school events. But nothing made me as nervous as standing in the middle of the assembly hall while the entire school waited to hear one decision. Not about a competition. Not about an award. About Sophia Everhart. And me. The Winter Gala announcement assembly was held in the main auditorium. Every seat was filled. Students whispered. Teachers watched from the side. The student council stood near the stage. And at the center of everything was Sophia. She looked exactly like she always did. Calm. Elegant. Confident. The Ice Queen. But I knew the truth. I knew the girl who stayed in my apartment on Christmas. The girl who wore my hoodie. The girl who admitted she was afraid of being forgotten. The girl who chose me even when nobody understood why. Before we went on stage, I found her backstage. You're not nervous. She looked at me. I am. I smiled. You don't look like it. She shrugged. I learned how to hide it. I laughed softly. That sounds like the old Sophia. She looked at me. And the new one? I thought for a moment. The new one tells the truth. A small smile appeared. Yes. The principal stepped onto the stage. The auditorium became silent. Every year, Fairmont Academy hosts the Winter Gala. Students are selected based on leadership, contribution, and school spirit. He looked at the list in his hand. This year's Winter Queen candidate is everyone already knew. Sophia Everhart. The applause was immediate. Sophia walked onto the stage. Then came the important part. The official partner. The entire room became quiet. Everyone expected one name. Carter Reed. Even I expected it. Not because Sophia chose him, because that was what everyone thought would happen. The principal looked at the paper, then paused. A strange feeling appeared in my chest. Something was different. According to the updated committee decision, he looked toward Sophia. Sophia Everhart has selected her own partner. The room exploded. Whispers. Surprised voices. People turning around. The principal continued. Her choice is a pause. Then, Ryan Parker. For a second, I forgot how to breathe. The entire auditorium was looking at me. Not because I had won something. Not because I had done something impressive. Because Sophia chose me. In front of everyone. I walked onto the stage. Sophia was waiting for me. When I reached her, I whispered, "You actually did it." She looked at me. "I told you." "What?" "I choose." I smiled. "You really don't make things easy." She smiled back. "Neither do you." The applause wasn't immediate. Some people were surprised. Some were confused. But then something happened. A teacher started clapping. Then another. Then more people joined. And suddenly, the whole auditorium was filled with applause. Not because I was suddenly famous. Because people finally understood. After the assembly, Carter found us. I expected anger. Instead, he looked different. Calmer. "Sophia." She turned. "Yes?" He looked at me. Then back at her. "I understand now." Sophia didn't answer. Carter smiled slightly. "I thought you chose him because he needed someone." A pause. "But you chose him because he's the only person who never needed you to be anyone else." I was surprised. Because those were exactly the words Sophia had shown me over and over. Carter looked at me. "You're lucky." I smiled. "I know." He shook his head. "No," he looked at Sophia. "You don't understand." Then he walked away. That evening, Sophia and I practiced for the winter gala. The school had already changed its opinion. Not everyone. Some people still whispered. But most people stopped asking why. Because they saw the answer. Sophia wasn't being forced. She wasn't making a mistake. She was happy. During practice, Sophia suddenly stopped. "What?" I looked at her. "You're smiling." "So? You don't do that during practice." I laughed. "Apparently I do now." She looked at me. "Do you know what I like most?" "What?" "That you never tried to become someone else." I smiled. "Even when everyone thought I wasn't good enough?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I never wanted the person everyone else admired." She stepped closer. "I wanted the person who stayed with me when nobody was watching." The night of the winter gala arrived. The school was decorated with lights. Everyone wore formal clothes. The gym had been transformed into a beautiful ballroom. And for the first time, I understood something. The event wasn't special because of the title. It was special because Sophia and I were standing there together. By choice. When the music started, Sophia and I walked onto the dance floor. Everyone watched. But this time, I didn't feel like I didn't belong. Because Sophia wasn't beside me because I matched her world. She was beside me because she wanted me in it. "You're quiet," Sophia said. "I'm thinking." "About what?" I looked around. The fact that 6 months ago, I never thought I would be here. She smiled. Neither did I. I looked surprised. "You?" "Yes." "Why?" She looked at me. "Because I never expected someone like you." "Someone like me?" "Someone who made me forget I was supposed to be perfect." The music slowed. The lights became softer. And for a moment, the entire school disappeared. There was only Sophia. After the dance, we walked outside. Snow began falling again. Just like Christmas. The same kind of quiet night. The same feeling. Sophia looked at the snow. "Do you remember what I said when I came to your apartment?" I smiled. "You didn't want me to spend Christmas alone." She nodded. "I meant it." "I know." She looked at me. "But I didn't realize something." "What?" She smiled softly. "I wasn't the one saving your Christmas." I looked at her. "You weren't?" She shook her head. "You saved mine." I didn't answer. Because sometimes the best moments don't need words. But then Sophia reached into her bag. And handed me something. A small envelope. I opened it. Inside was a photo. The two of us. From the library. The night she stayed beside me. On the back was a sentence. "The best memories are the ones we never planned." I looked at Sophia. And suddenly, I understood. The girl everyone wanted to know had never been looking for someone perfect. She had been looking for someone real. And somehow she found me. 1 year later, students still talked about that Christmas. The suitcase. The gifts. The winter gala. The moment the Ice Queen chose the quiet guy in front of everyone. But the truth was much simpler. Sophia Everhart didn't change my life because she was the most popular girl at school. She changed it because she saw me when nobody else did. And I changed hers because I reminded her she never had to be perfect to be loved. The girl who arrived at my door with gifts and a suitcase became the person I never wanted to leave. That's all for today. Remember to subscribe and support us.